So Raymond, tell us a little bit about what this system is powering.
It's powering the whole house. Everything.
And this house is on a 200 amp service?
Yes.
All right, guys, so today we're installing a SolArk 15 kV inverter with a ton of battery storage. Come join us.
It's an inch and a half.
These is 3, 4, 5, 6. Positive, negative, positive, negative. 3, 4, 5, 6. This part is really gnarly. Because like there's no spots on this thing to install.
Yes. Oh, we have a 200 amp breaker here for protection, and you also have
That load side breaker. There's an extra step and extra cost. Use this little slot right here to go.
I think we have plenty.
Won't be a little bit tight. Almost 2 feet. Okay. It's okay. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm just going to route these here. Can I move the batteries closer?
Yeah. Sí, para acá. ¿Queda el frente? ¿Sí? ¿Unida aquí?
Yeah.
Ah, no,
Take it
espérame.
out first.
Espérame. La vuelta para arriba nomás. Échame ahí. Ok.
Do we want to move this thing?
I think there's enough space here. If we can just make this work.
Un diagonal, ¿no? Como esquinadito.
Yeah. Positive will barely reach also. Yeah, this will work.
Están los terrenos sueltos.
Oye, y y de ahí, el reposo, cuando regresó a jugar el primer partido, lo volvieron a. Total, que no han dado bien. Y ese porque.
Oh,
Let there be life.
You turn it on.
53.15. I didn't turn on the house yet, but
Do you check the connections?
okay.
So, this is the grid.
Yeah, that's correct.
This is the load,
Panel, yeah.
neutrals, and ground.
Okay.
Well, you can see right here.
Correct.
In yours, the ground was on this side, but I don't know, for some reason they put it on here.
A little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that you double check the connections.
This is right. Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and turn on the power?
Yeah. Okay. Do the honors.
Voy a prender todo, dale.
Well, we haven't turned on the load side on the inverter yet.
You want to go ahead and turn it on? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to turn it on?
You can try. Otherwise, I can't. Yeah. Lights are on. There we go.
Omar.
I just need to turn on the POU now. It's humming. You can set POU now. There we go.
So there's the lights.
Yeah. Nothing light.
10?
Oh,
Yeah.
10 kilowatt?
Yeah.
Is the air conditioner on?
Probably, I think. Yeah. Good thing today is not too hot of a day.
But right now is using what the
It's not accurate right now. You need to let it calibrate a little. Yeah.
so it calibrates itself.
Only the total pole is correct right now. For sure.
Yeah, bro.
Pretty simple, right?
This is my first time with the SolArk. Everything else has been EG4.
Oh,
This is
Now
great.
to the computer part.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
I do need to create a plant.
All right, guys. So right now, Raymond is jumping into the post-installation aspect of programming. Raymond, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So I'm setting up the Wi-Fi to connect with the house's Wi-Fi,
Gotcha.
and that will allow us to control the inverter from the app.
Awesome. So everything from the touch of your hand worldwide.
Yep. I'll just go ahead and name this Alfie. My friend that did not give me his Wi-Fi password yet.
Oh, that's fun.
And then address. Let's put his address here. Yep. To automatically detect where the address is.
So the app automatic, it's pretty straightforward, is it?
Valuation method. Policy. I'll just go ahead and put 14 cents for. I think it's 12 cents when he told me. 12 cents per kilowatt hour. Put email. Okay. All right. So we just gotta configure the network. I have his. Okay. So now I just connect to. Yeah, perfect. So connect the device. Default password is 128.
So on the SolArk inverters, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome.
So once that's done, I think they wanted to know how to set this up too, but key to the label, okay. Oh. It's the key on the label of the device. Okay, so
Is that on the inside, Raymond?
right. 9. So it depends on the dongle. If it's older, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this one is a little bit different.
So on the newer Wi-Fi adapters, guys, you're going to go actually to the key fob on there and get that information. And on the older ones, it's going to be 1 through 8.
Yeah. So I'm in the battery setting right now. I just put a battery voltage. It basically means that it's using the voltage as a standard to charge and discharge. If you're using anything that has not connected through RS485 into the inverter, you should use this
So voltage mode.
voltage mode.
Okay. So there's no, quote, is state of charge type connection, right? We're doing voltage only.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. So guys, in this connection, the state of charge, as we've talked about, not connecting the Cat5 cable, the inverter is actually looking at the voltage, and that's when it's going to make the determination whether it needs to charge, where it needs to stop charging.
I'll set the shutdown at 45 volts. Low voltage at 48. Battery restart voltage to 50. I need to reference to what I have at my house, but let's send this in first.
And the nice thing is you can literally sit at your house and then program the rest of this from there.
Oh. I mean, I can even set up here. If you go to the setting here, basic setup.
Thank you.
Time. Advanced. Auto detect. Let's go ahead and use auto detect for now. Okay, it's gonna calibrate that. There's no parallel. We'll ignore that. Battery setup. Voltage. battery capacity, since it is 200 amp hours each pack, there is 8 packs, so it's 1600 amp hours here.
So each of these batteries, Raymond, is 200 amp hours,
Yes,
4 per rack, and 8 total for 1600.
that's good. Gotcha. It's 10. Okay. Max charge will decrease it to 125.
Just making sure I didn't leave anything.
125 amps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Max discharge also set it at 125. Okay. So that registered. Charging. Grid charge is turned on. Float voltage. Let's turn it down a little bit to 55 instead. Equalization. Yeah, 56 is fine. Let's click OK there.
Well, I'm here with Omar today, and Omar is an electrician. He has done a lot of electrical work. He works with my friend Raymond, and in fact, today on this install, he completed every aspect from the meter forward. Omar, I'm going to put your information in the description below. For the DIY crowd, guys, if you are looking for an electrician, maybe you got 60% of the way done, you're not sure about some things, give Omar a call. He can help you come out, get you fixed up. Or maybe you don't want to touch it at all, you just want to hand it over. So call Omar. Omar is the man with the plan. He can absolutely help you get it done. Omar, anything to say about this project today?
No, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Omar Martinez. I'm with Optimum Electric.
So Omar, how long have you been in business?
I've been in business for
Okay.
16 years. Well,
Wow.
as a company, but as an electrician, I've been doing this for 25 years.
So guys, Omar has had his own business, in other words, you're not going to somebody else. When you call Omar and if there's any challenges, questions, anything like that, Omar's going to answer it for you. As he's been here with Raymond for 5 years working on these projects and many others at that.
Yes.
He's also very well versed on the electrical side, your panels, your disconnects, your breakers, everything from A to Z.
Yes.
So he is well versed, and I can tell you, I've been here today working with Omar, seeing him hands-on with his crew. Amazing company, good people, very focused. So this is a company that you can trust. And Omar, if you're working with a DIY person, maybe they've done some of it themselves, off-grid, something like that, not a lot of permits, those kind of things. Are you able to help those people?
Of course, yeah. Anything they need, if they want to do part of the work and they want to take care of the rest, I can
Awesome.
do that.
And you could even come in at the end if they just want to make sure things were okay. You could come in and do an inspection for them you have an inspection service or something.
For sure.
Awesome. Give them a call today. It's in the description below.
Okay, so this is where the juicy part is. I'm going to change the limit to home only. I am going to assume his TOU. This is charge cell peak. Okay, so his TOU is probably going to be at 9 o'clock. And then it's going to resume at 5 or 6. So I'm going to change the time later.
So Raymond, what you're doing is setting this up for nights and weekends, free electric, right? And you're telling the inverter that you are only allowed to charge from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.?
That's correct.
Okay.
9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Yes.
So guys, no solar panels on this house. Take note of that. What they're doing is getting literally free electricity from the grid from 9 p.m. at night till 5 a.m. in the morning. And I believe that's Monday through Friday and then all the time on the weekend. But in this case, the inverter is given those parameters from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Free energy.
So that looks good. Let it calibrate a little bit. It's gonna turn back into normal way. Let's see, all of them. Okay, let's check one more time. Here, that's already been all detected. Time. That has nothing to do with anything. Okay, batteries. Go back to discharge then. Let's see. Charge. Okay, let's turn off quick charge for now.
And I believe you're turning grid charge off for now until the agreement's made with the electric company.
That's correct. So
Okay.
that's following the time of use.
Okay.
Okay. Because right now it's already at like 53.9 volts, so there's no reason to really get charging. And they're not really using any electricity right now, less than a kilowatt.
Wow.
And I doubt that this CT is currently running, so let's go ahead and wait. Is it here? No, it's in the emitter. Battery first is already set up. Where is the? Oh, it should be in basic. How advanced it auto detects. Sometimes you have to like click it a few times for it to register.
Gotcha. So Raymond, with this system, is it running off the batteries, or is it running off the grid, or is it literally in the day it's batteries and at night it's grid?
Yes.
Okay.
The third scenario.
So guys, during the daytime is the most expensive time for electricity. And what's happening here is during the day, this unit, this system is actually taking advantage of the batteries to run the house, the electric, everything AC here on that energy at no cost. With their plan that you can get, they get free nights, free weekends. At that time, the house will run off of the grid and the system will charge from the grid. Is that right, Raymond?
That's right.
Awesome. Now, many of you may be questioning, how can this be true? Is this really, can you really do this? And the answer is yes, because Raymond has actually been doing this for multiple years.
Oh, 5-6 years now.
Wow. 5 to 6 years. And let me make note of this, that, the work that was done today by Omar also did Raymond's house 5 to 6 years ago. So he's got a proven history there in completing these. Tell us real quick on your house.
Okay.
I think you have a pretty sweet setup. You're not only getting free electricity at your house. After the initial investment of your system, it's been free from then.
Yeah.
But you're also not putting gasoline into a car.
No.
Now, what type of vehicle are you driving?
I drive a Tesla Model S. It's hard to say.
Awesome. And in that Tesla, you're able to charge that from your house?
Yeah.
So effectively, you've not paid a gas bill either for 5 years.
Yeah. That's correct. I haven't driven a gas car unless I'm traveling.
Wow.
When I go like to California or something, I would just rent a car. Usually, gas cars are the cheapest, but yeah, it's costly for gas nowadays.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. So you have the convenience coming home at night, plugging in, and you're free to go at $0.
I plug everything in.
What was your initial investment on your system at home?
I remember at the time it was the most expensive. I think I spent about $29,000 on just batteries alone,
Okay.
but I got about 120 kilowatt hours.
Whoa. So 29K, guys, 120 kilowatt hours. That was batteries alone?
Batteries alone.
And then you've got, what are you using for your inverters?
I'm using SolArk. This is a 15P. I'm using the 12K.
Wow.
I have two of those.
So you've got 212 SolArk inverters at your house, giving you 24K. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had any issues in that setup over your 5 years of having it?
So over the 5 years, I've had Victron, I've had SunGold Power, I've had amp inverters. All of them give me issues. Not one of them would just leave me alone, just let it run on silently in the garage by itself. SolArk, I never had to touch it.
So Raymond, why did you make the choice with the customer for a 48 volt system with the 15 kilowatt inverter?
So all of our batteries from before, they were all 48 volts. And to pair with, it doesn't really matter which SolArk you use. It depends on the usage of the house. In the future, I do foresee him wanting more power, just because if there's not enough, it will pull from the batteries, right? And then it will pull from the grid. So let's say during the day, he does not have enough juice to power the entire house, he will want more. However, his panel limits that.
Okay.
His current panel right now has a 200 amp breaker right here.
This comes from the meter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that has 200 amp limit. There is no reason to upgrade the inverter without upgrading the wiring behind it.
So when he does it later, he'll just come in, put another inverter over here, and then
We'll have to
a new.
upgrade the wires going through the meter.
Okay. So Omar will come back out. So it's totally upgradable as well.
Yes.
But the safety's there also that if there is a demand, it's going to pull from the grid and continue to function. Raymond, can you walk us through the battery bank and the bus bars? Many people get a little bit nervous about off-name batteries, but after what I've seen in your house, it's been there for multiple years, working flawlessly. I've bought some of the smaller and been playing with those, and they really look solid. Those will be on the channel. Be looking out for them. Tell us a little bit about these batteries and the bus bars.
So these batteries were constructed with EVE cells. They were either 105 amp hours or 230.
So there's grade A cells in these batteries.
They're all great. It depends on who you go through and how much you trust them, right? Over the years of being in business here, we just look through so many different, like we will pay for, a sample sent here. They always send something really good. And then I don't know how many manufacturers we actually vetted out over the years, but there were just so many that just would give you something good at first, and then the second, third batch is like it's all out of whack. So at the end, it just comes down to who you trust after a few times. Now, if you do find somebody, let's say a cell manufacturer, what they don't tell you is they'll sell you the cells, the prismatic banks, but they don't tell you how to put it together. What's the safest way to put them together, how you can use them. So like everything in here, all these metal boxes, inside there's compression already. For prismatic cells, lithium iron phosphate cells, you have to compress them. Otherwise, it will lose capacity over time as you charge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a lot of these efforts were in the designing as well as packaging the actual battery in a bank before it gets to you. So it's not about how much you want to spend on getting some cells and just DIYing it. Is A, the safety, B, the longevity, and C, how much you're getting out of the bank, right? You could save a couple $1,000 on just getting the cells, but then you could waste like tens of thousands on just putting it together.
So not every battery on Alibaba, for example, or some of these places, not saying they're all bad, but not every 50 kilowatt deal you see for $19.95 is a good deal.
It's kind of the hidden things they don't tell you. After being in business for so long, it's just like, these are the things that we already know. We try to educate our customers, but like, nobody cares, nobody listens.
So with you and your company, they're looking for the bottom dollar, but you spent a ton of time and due diligence and actually going through that process and pain of figuring out what actually works and what doesn't, and what may not just be a grade A cell on the first thing, but come later on with something different.
That's right.
Wow. So Raymond, what happens if the grid goes down? How does this system respond?
Okay, so technically this system is already directly connected to the house.
Okay.
You can put in a pic if you were to put it in the picture. The grid connected to a side box, which is completely severed from the house and the inverter. The inverter is now becoming the middleman of the house and the meter. So whatever the grid does has nothing to do with the inverter's function. The inverter will be discharging to the house while pulling back, pulling energy from the grid, as if you set it up as such.
So regardless of whether we're on that time schedule to pull energy at night to charge, what you're telling me is batteries are going to be the first pull into the inverter for the house. And then if there's a demand or a need, it'll then pull from the grid, or if it needs to charge, it's going to bring from the grid.
That's correct. So it's depending on the setting, on the TOU, time of use. on this inverter has all the functions inside that would supply on free night hours, as well as during daytime when you need to discharge from the batteries. It will prioritize whichever is set to do.
Nice. So literally safety 24 hours a day as long as there's battery available.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So if it cuts out, the battery is still on.
And we would call this hybrid.
I'd say this would be more of I guess you can put it like that. Yeah.
The primary is still the batteries. We're not depending on the grid, because a lot of people, a lot of viewers unknowingly bought a system. The grid went down and their house went dead, even though they had batteries full of energy. With this system, that's not what we're dealing with at all.
Because of anti-islanding laws.
Oh, nice.
So they do not allow people to sell back to the grid if there's an outage, because somebody will be out there pulling on the electric poles, fixing the wires, and if you're selling back to the grid, it could shock them to death.
Wow.
It's 40,000 volts.
Were there any surprises or challenges on this install? It seemed pretty straightforward to me.
As long as you know the settings, I mean, you can hire somebody to do it. You could also call SolArk; they'll do it for you. You just tell them how you wired it, and they'll do it for you.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, in terms of wiring, as long as you know what you're doing, once these are set up correctly and safely, this whole thing,
Set it and forget it.
Yes, it will just take care of itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So inherently, I've been a big EG4 guy, not against SolArk at all, just haven't had this is my first hands-on with a SolArk product. And to be honest, what I saw, I really liked. It seemed straightforward. The install seemed straightforward. All the options seemed available.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not real familiar with the software side of it at this point. So with that said, honestly, I think both are great products, but I think as one of our previous discussions was, we didn't have a 200 amp pass through that we could find on the EG4 stuff. And that's why, that was one reason SolArk really came to the front end of this.
That's right. Yeah, the EG4 was only allowing, even on the 18K, it was only allowing 90 amps.
Wow.
So 90 amps is barely 16 kilowatt,
Wow.
maybe 17, maybe even less.
So if somebody needs that full 200 amp pass through, this is a product that can.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, if you have electric stove, you've got like a kettle that's running on hot water, the AC's on, you're charging your car, and then like all of a sudden the dryer's on, everything shuts off. That's not fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So guys, for those of you who are literally off grid, I would still recommend the EG4 6000 or 12,000 XP. But what's shining right now in this configuration is there's no panels here in the backyard. There's grid. But the key is free nights and weekends.
Yeah.
Free energy.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are in the city, those of you that really want to cut down, because energy cost is going up.
Yep.
It's going through the roof. This is where you need to be looking at.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
There is a company I know right now that's doing the same thing that I'm doing, but I don't know what kind of inverter they're using though. The name is Base Power.
Base power. Oh, I think I've seen this on YouTube commercials.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. Free nights with battery and an inverter, smart load on TOU. That's it. It's simple and just quick. Their billing model though, I think. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I think they're doing the same thing as Sunrun. Basically just renting you the equipments, grabbing the credits and whatnot, and then you don't own the equipment, you just pay them electricity.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a homeowner. Personally, I want to own the equipment. I want to own the batteries. Would it not be better for me to make the initial investment, call Omar to come out, wire it up and own the equipment. And that way, if I wanted to add on in the future, as we talked about here, adding another unit, adding some more battery banks, etc. What are your thoughts on that? Would it be more preferable to own your own equipment or to lease?
So if you were to own your own equipment, so this is the aspect that people don't tell you. If you're selling your house and you don't own the equipment, there's a lien on your house.
Whoa.
Yes.
Did you hear that, guys? There's a lien on your house. All of a sudden, if you have to sell because you move jobs, the
Yeah.
big yield stop sign just came up.
Yep. So it's that much harder to sell your house if you have a rented solar equipment on your roof or leased.
Wow.
It's-
You're stuck.
You're stuck. Either you terminate a contract, which will basically eat at your savings, or they will just try to tell you, hey, there's a termination fee, labor, what
Which I'm sure is quite high.
yeah, I mean, that's how they get you, right? They got to make their money. They came out here, give you a free installation and whatnot. Everything sounded so nice at first, and then at the end of the day, when you're trying to move, like you can't move, you're stuck there.
What
Yeah.
else?
If it's off grid, I do have another recommendation.
Okay.
Go with solar kits.
Oh.
The entire kit, you can actually pay it off. Like the point is to get the entire thing working, and you start saving right away. Otherwise, the cash flow does not make sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solar kits.
And you can even use, like, I don't know what kind of credit card out there. Just grab
Sure.
one. 15 months free interest.
Wow.
Pay it over 12, 15 months.
I know a lot of the providers that we partner with, they have Kilna and I think some of these other options, just like what you're recommending. And actually, I've never thought about that before, Raymond. Guys, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Link in description. Save $50 on your next order. Raymond, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah.
And guys, Raymond's a stand-up guy. I'll tell you, it was a tremendous blessing and opportunity to meet him. And he's taught just a wealth of information. He's been in the business for quite a long time as well. So Raymond, we just want to thank you for your time and honestly, everything that you've sown into the channel as well. You've given us a lot of great deals, and we just want to say thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Next one.
Like, subscribe, share, and look in the comments below. That's where your savings are at. See ya.